Morning, everybody. Michelle is here. Up and at it, getting ready to start my day, Monday, and do some things, some chores, and eventually get back to reading. But something just, popped in my head. Excuse me. Um, and it's a question. And this is a question to the intellectuals. I want to talk to the intellectuals right now. And just ask a question. You don't really have to answer me. In reference to my videos, if you just listen to them and move on, that's all you need to do. You don't need to comment. You don't really have to do anything. Just take it and leave it, because there's billions of us out here, with content. And I know it's hard to keep up with. And that's how we've allowed things like technology to get out of control. But I have a question about, so since technology is growing leaps and bounds. In my opinion, technology has gotten so out of control that we are unable to manage it. Okay, because technology was supposed to work for us, not against us. Technology was not supposed to replace us, but assist us. So anyway, talking to the intellectuals for a minute here. So you remember when you were in college and you were, studying certain fields of interest, such as psychiatry, philosophy, political science, those type of, because they were popular. I can remember back in my 20s, those were popular things everybody wanted to go into. Psychiatry, psychology, political science, and there were others, but they'll come to me. But but now, most people are into marketing. That's what people go to college for, is marketing. So, I mean, that's a different flow of how things are going, if people are paying attention. So, but in reference to psychiatry and psychology, political science, sociology, all those type of, to me, they're kind of abstract. They are abstract fields of study. And that means that, they're abstract. There's not sometimes you have to go in there and refine them, redefine them. They require a constant monitoring and developing. So my question is to these to the intellectuals: how often do you go back and read some of your material that you've written when you were in school, when you were in college? How many of you have gone back and read some of the books that you used to get your degrees and all these titles behind your name that you can place those kind of plaques and certificates, degrees or whatever on your walls? How many of you do that? Honestly, go back and read the books, Socrates, Plato. Is anyone doing that? Because in my opinion, those forefathers in those fields before the intellectuals that chose to get into those fields, they were presenting theories to you in their writing. Let's just be honest. They were presenting some theories, okay, and opinions. And I think they were under the impression and assumption, which was their mistakes, that those that would become after them will explore them and discuss them more, and thus evolve their consciousness, because that's where we're failing. Yeah, we can put people on the moon, we can put people on the Mars, and those type of technology, engineering. Engineering is abstract. Engineering is theories as well, but it requires refinement. Okay, the same thing with our consciousness. Our consciousness requires just as much as of attention of in that realm as all this other stuff going on around us. And that's where we're failing. Okay. And so, because when you go into psychiatry and psychology and those type of fields, you're dealing with abstract information. Am I right or wrong? If I'm wrong, tell me so. You're not, if you were dealing with actual factual scientific knowledge in those fields, then why are we having all these issues with mental health? And no one can really, because if I have anxiety, it should be the same type of anxiety as everybody else. And then everybody knows that's not true. If I have depression, it should be the same type of depression as everybody else. And everybody knows that's not true. Okay, some people are committing suicide and some people are not. And they come from similar backgrounds. Okay, so where we're failing is in our consciousness. Okay, we're not failing in technology at all, but we're allowing technology to take over a role that we ought to be leading. That's for humans to lead in technology instead of technology leading humans. And that's why everybody's so fascinated right now, but they don't know the implications of, androids, AI technology, clones. We just don't know what we're getting into. And personally, in my opinion, I feel as though the major damage has been done, but I don't know. It's going to be up to the descendants, unfortunately, our children and descendants, to fix the mess that we're in. And but it may be so devastating for them that they don't have the energy for it, because their energy is going to be forced on surviving. So those are things to contemplate and think about. How often do you intellectuals go back and read your material that you've written when you were in college and high school? Because keep in mind, your forefathers, like I said, they were presenting theories to you. And they were under the assumption that you would go back over the course of time and refine it and bring it into the now, to where it relates to our current positions, our current situations. And how many of you are doing that? And just relying on textbooks that were written, in the 1800s and assuming and believing that applies now. It was theories then, which requires a constant discussion and to be revised and refined and elevated, okay, which will support our consciousness development. So that's just thoughts I'm sharing on a Monday morning. I hope everybody's considering what's considered normal. Please reconsider what you consider as normal. Okay? I want to send peace and love to everybody all over the universe, all over the planet. And love each other, be gentle with each other, and be there for each other. And I'll get to you again soon.